Double check everything. Maybe, buddy. Oh, come on. Not out of the way. Oh, man, definitely ain't hot out there again. Do 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 do. Oh, come on, split screen, bitch. Alright, there we go. Okay. Fuck. Oh, man, it's hot out there and balmy and muggy. Ugh. Oh, definitely can do this. Get this hair off my neck. Ooh. Oh, it definitely feels better. And boom. There we go. Whoop. Alright. Good. Good. One. Alright. Oh, I forgot to grab my speaker. I need to grab that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, much better. There we go. Alright. Grab that real quick. Let's get a little something cool in me to drink. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Come on, dog. Come here. Doggo. Come on. Look. Come on, pup. There we go, buddy. Alright. There we go. Alright. I'll pull some music now. Let's see. What was my vibe? Oh, do it so nice. Hey, bro, just found a pigeon that thinks the captain of the Air Force. What the fuck? What? Did you find acid or something? Baldur's Gate. Oh. yeah, like, I'm gonna be able to figure that one out. Because I'm obviously an artisan and a master of all of the lexicon that is within Baldur's Gate and all the characters and within everything of that world. 100%. Why? You were kind of like rebellious and one to walk today, now you're just all like, eh. They're like, no, I want to go back outside. Fucking goober. You know what, actually I'll just have the gate closed over here. There you go, now if you need to go outside, you have a free access point. Without having to worry about him running off. Goober. Well, eventually he's gonna figure it out. He'll eventually figure it out. Little goober. That was a goody not shoes. I don't know if they have a, you know, like, I don't know if, like, there's a Sportsman's or anything, but honestly, like, when it comes to shoes and boots, I like going there. The stuff they have over there is actually pretty decent quality. I always, like, the boots I get are, usually Danner's, and I get them over there. Save money and buy $40 Walmart. Oh, yeah, where they're gonna break down within, like, a year's time, and then you have to go buy them new ones. Just buy ones that are like $200 or something, and then let those last a while. At least the boots I get are like $200. Because honestly, they last at least a few years. I mean, the ones I have now are at the point where they're like, you know, once it starts getting rainy and fall weather and shit, I'm going to definitely get new ones, because at least for summer-wise, they're still good, but they definitely don't, like, prevent water from soaking in and shit like that anymore, so. Are you making money? No, I just save up and then get new boots. I just recognize that, like, hey, I want to save up for some, like, you know, like, something at least that's somewhat quality, and I don't have to worry about buying for a while. And then once, you know, once I'm, like, at the point where I'm like, alright, time to get some new boots, I just put some money aside. Sometimes I just have to wait a paycheck, sometimes I wait a couple. Sometimes, you know, like, my shifts are, like full schedules and stuff, so I'm, like, doing weird part-time shit or something, so it doesn't, like, get full, like, yeah, like, full hours or something. Could dream of dropping 200 on shoes, except for safe skin, that's gonna be nice. Those are gonna be way more than that. If you're looking for something like that, that's gonna be, like, $300 to $400, bro. And I'm not looking for anything fancy, I'm just looking for something utilitarian. Like, you know, what I have. So. I don't really give that much of a fuck about, like, all the fancy schmanciness and stuff. You get paid 2 times a month. I get paid for, like, once every Thursday. I get paid every Thursday. You wait for multiple checks 6 months. I mean, it's just, it's a longer time frame, sure, but it's something that, still doable. It's not like, saving up for something huge. It's, something to last for a long time. I mean, realistically, it's better to have multiple pairs of, like, shoes and boots and stuff anyway. For, like, more rainy days, you have boots, and for, like, more, like, casual dry weather, you can have, like, light shoes or something. I just, stick to one pair because I'm a cheapskate in that way. Three shirts and 2 pants. You need to expand that wardrobe, bro. I mean, I don't, like, when it comes to my wardrobe, like, the one that I'm lacking in is pants. Like, I have, like, 5 good pairs of pants, and then I have, like, 3 pairs that have, like, holes in them and are kind of taggered and shit. So, I mean, if anything, I could expand that a little bit. I have an endless amount of shirts. And they're all, like, band shirts. Or just, like, random music shirts like this. Or they're like little meme shirts, like the It's Gorilla shirt or something like that. Costs an arm and a leg, though. No, it doesn't. You can get a couple decent pairs of pants for like $40. 50 plus. That is not an arm and a leg for a couple pairs of pants. Like, for 2 pairs, like, that's good. It's not that bad. I mean, just to find some basic, decent little, like, shirt, that can cost between, like, $5 to $10, just depending. If you're looking for just, like, something basic or generic, but I know you, and you want band shirts and shit, so obviously that's gonna cost a little more. Which I recognize. Most of my shirts are, like, ones that I spend, like, sometimes, like, 40 or 50 fucking bucks on. Like, I mean, I go out of my way to, like, like, spend money on band shirts and shit like that. But go to the thrift store, get 10 pairs for that same price. Well, to the thrift store, sure. Yeah. I'm just saying if you're going to, like, a Walmart or something. But, yeah, if you go to the thrift store, you could probably find some decent pairs that fit you and, get maybe even more, with that. So, yeah, I mean, if you go to a nice little thrift store that, has some pretty decent clothes selection, then sure. Yeah, you can easily find some more after that. But at least, like, like, when it comes to, I haven't do that, though, because most of the stores around here are church run. Well, yeah, I guarantee it's because of the whole, like, charity work shit that, churches kind of, push and stuff. Guarantee that's why. Me and you're funny, the enemy's shopping here. Well, it's the South. I mean, honestly, that's kind of expected. I mean, that shit's around here, too, by the way. I mean, we have Salvation Armies that exist out here, and they're pretty notorious for being pretty openly Christian ran and not being exactly pro-gay and stuff like that. But, hell, I've shopped there for, seeing if, like, I could find a, decent jacket or some pairs of pants and stuff before. I mean, like, cause, hell, like, I usually will go there if I can't really find any of the other options. I'm like, alright, fuck it, I'll go over here. Haven't seen Salvation Army in decades. Really? Wow. Well, that's actually kind of surprising, because since, like, 04? No shit. Really? Well, they're around here. There's one not that far away from me. Like, I can, within, like, 30 to 40 minutes, like, walk to it. I mean, if I biked to it, it would take, like, maybe 15 or 20. It wouldn't take that long for me to get there. There's a commotion outside. I know I'm expecting a delivery today. I'm actually getting a part from AK. It's a lower handguard, but one that has like some rail systems on the bottom of it and stuff, so I'm not stuck with the wooden shark fin. So then if I want, I could take that off, so to speak. So, the mission number church competition drove him out. Well, I'm assuming probably because there's like better deals that the churches are doing, and also I'm sure a lot of those smaller churches and shit probably you know, give some stuff away too. Like, you know, if you buy like, you know, some clothes, then you get like a free, you know, bag of, you know, food or some canned goods or something. They probably got like some sort of system in place to where you can like, you know, get free stuff or something. Or if you can't afford anything, you know, then they'll like donate you something, or, you know, maybe it's by donation, like, you know, donate to the church and then you can, you know, kind of have like your pickings, so to speak, or something. I'm sure it varies. Like, I'm sure you know, each church's got their own little way of doing it. Bigger towns have Goodwill or donation stores like that. Well, if you haven't seen the Salvation Army in a long time, then it's probably just in the bigger cities, like in Birmingham or something. Because of Goodwills in the other towns, I guarantee you Salvation Army's probably looking at them as a competition more so than anything, so they're probably, you know, going to be where they're probably at. I mean, because that's how it is over here. Like, I mean, not that far away from the Salvation Army over here, there are at least, like, 1 or 2 Goodwills, and I think at least one other Salvation Army that I don't know exactly where it is. But I know they, you know, got, you know, some stores around here and shit, and Goodwill does too, so. And of course, there's a fuckload of little, like, antique stores and thrift shops and stuff like that in Portland, like, a lot of them. So, at least when it comes to, like, the thrift market, like, there's a fuckload of, like, you know, stuff to choose from. And honestly, we like it like that up here, by the way. Like, we prefer having, like, some random, like, you know, Portland anarcho, like, hippie person, you know, running a little thrift shop and stuff and having just weird little trinkets. That's almost like a Portland staple right there. And then the Goodwill closed. Oh, then, wait, and then the Army closed? Wait, so, used to have one, but Goodwill and the local church out then. Oh, okay. It got turned into a skating rink for a couple years afterwards. That's pretty cool. Gives at least, you know, some skater kids and shit, something to do. There's actually a little, like, skater rink, that used to be, like, funny enough, I think, like, some old-ass, like, insurance thing or some shit. And then, like, I think one half of it got converted into, like, a bottle drop. And then, the rest of that, you know, big property eventually got turned into a whole skating rink. So, like, right next to one of the pubs I go to when I go play pool, it's, like, right there. So, like, usually sometimes, you know, during the day, like, you know, if I'm going to play pool with my friends at, like, 6 or something, I'll see a bunch of skater kids in there. Which is pretty cool, honestly. So the local troublemakers flooded and ruined the floor, and then the rink closed and never reopened. Local troublemakers? What do you mean, like, they flooded it? How they flood it? Like, what? They just, like, you know, had, like, the sprinkler system go off or something? I'm pretty sure I know who did it, but I couldn't point fingers. Damn. Dude, it's always, like, you know, 1 or 2 people that are just, like, ruining it for fucking everybody. Like, at the pub that I go play pool at, they used to allow dogs, and I used to let Zukov go in there all the time, but then one day, I brought him in, and they're like, oh, we don't allow dogs anymore. And, you know, and we unfortunately can't make exceptions, even though they've, you know, seen me with them before, you know, they obviously can't just, like, you know, enforce a policy, but not everyone gets enforced, so they're just like, you know, hey, sorry, but, you know, somebody with their dog, you know, had a really bad mess, and we're basically ruining it for everybody. Because I was there and saw this dude messing with the fire alarm while everyone else was dancing. I mean, that does sound like proof in the sense of you're a witness. So you witnessed somebody fucking with the fire alarm. That at least gives, you know, a sense of like, hey, I at least can point to somebody, you know, that was doing that shit. I mean, it's forever ago, so obviously who cares now, I guess. But still, it's a shitty situation. Like, I mean, fuck that person. But I don't see him explicitly pull it, so I couldn't say 100%. Well, I mean, if they were around it, fucking with it, I guarantee you they probably fucked with it a little too much and accidentally pulled the alarm and thus flooded the entire rink by the sprinklers going off. Which, again, fuck that person. What an idiot. Like, there's a reason why those things are usually got, like, some protective casing or, like, or usually have, like, some sort of, like, metal thing where you have to, like, pull and then pull down. Like, because it it, like, because if you accidentally touch it or fuck with it or something like that, then it doesn't accidentally go off. But obviously that person was purposely fucking with it and pretty much intentionally made it go off because they wanted to see how far they could take it, I guess. Does this weird big red thing actually work? That wasn't really up to modern code. So it probably was, okay. So it's probably like one of those old school ones where you could just literally pull it and it just does its thing. Yeah, because modern ones, they have at least like some basic little lock mechanism where anyone can obviously, you know, pull and get through, but you kind of have to like do one little extra step to pull it down and stuff. Because if someone were to just pull it, it wouldn't just go off. You would have to like basically take a pin out to let it go down now. I mean, it's one tiny little thing, but it doesn't really add any extra time that would be disastrous, you know, in emergency situations. So, you know, it at least kind of helps minimize accidental false alarm, you know, raises and shit. Because that's happened at my school before, and before they modernized the actual things, they just put these weird little, like, plastic coverings around them. And it mainly happened in the gym, like, all the time. Like, you know, a ball will hit it and accidentally have the thing go off and shit. It didn't cause the sprinklers to go off. It just caused the, like, you know, the lights going off and shit. And it would go off for the entire school. So, it would be, you know, and they would have to, like, you know, go to, like, the, you know, fucking, like, utility closet area where they had all the power shit and turn it off over there, wherever the fuck. You know, it was a whole process. I mean, you know, and, like, so it would just be annoying. And eventually, at a certain point, they just put little plastic coverings around it, you know, just to at least stop that. But where you just lift up the top and then you can pull it. Or, like, open up the thing or something. It was either, like, a top thing, like a little lid, or, like, you just, like, open it up, you know, with a little latch or something. It was something like that. Thinking, look for a Blue Dream hybrid. This is a Blue Dream. I mean, good luck. I mean, you're just going to have to ask someone at the dispensary about that. Because likelihood that at this point you're probably going to find one that was bred with Blue Dream, or at least, you know, somewhere down the line has Blue Dream in it. You're more likely to find, you know, hybrids or different strains more so than just OG strains. I mean, you can find them. Like, I mean, I was smoking on Pineapple Express not that long ago. We used to beat the little shit out of the drink machine in the cafeteria. If you hit it just right, it'd give you a freebie. Well, that's, I think, for any of those machines. Like, I mean, for most machines like that, I mean, sometimes it will have the situation where it kind of gets stuck. And, you know, there's the meme of just like, God damn it, and you try to, like, you know, shake it around a little bit to, you know, jessel it out. I mean, that, like... I mean, that wasn't exactly uncommon. Like, I guarantee you that, you know, it happened at my school. Like, somebody would have a drink that they could kind of tell was, like, kind of, like, almost out, and they jostled it, and you can kind of hear it fall. And, yeah, every now and then there will be another one that would fall, and they'd get two, and a freebie. It was a 1980s one. Oh, so I imagine it was way easier. Yeah, ours was, you know, the one that we had was, you know, something that, like, you know, can... I don't know, probably be like an early 2000s one or something like that. So it was a little more modernized, but same premise. Where the spring could be beaten up by the machine. Could be fucked by beating the machine. Yeah, the more modern ones are at least way better because they at least have solved this problem because they have it kind of all like mechanical and shit. I don't know if you've seen them, but I've seen them. They're really cool. Like, I mean, it will basically have like this little... And then it'll have like this... And it will like be this weird cool little thing. Like, I mean, it was actually legit pretty fucking cool. I mean, so, like, you know, they're way better about it these days, where this little, like, dispenser machines, you know, will, like, have, like, this little, you know, like, kind of hydraulic thing going on to where it's not, like, some spring-loaded shit. We had a cigarette machine on campus and never got serviced and had ancient cigarettes in it. Did anyone use it? Like, were there people trying to see if they could use it, or was it just, like, out of commission and just had a bunch of old cigarettes in it? So basically like a display piece. Was it like actually working, or was it just kind of there for display at that point? I remember we got a pack out at once, but it tasted like literal ash. Ugh. So I guess it did work. Ew. Probably like literally from the fucking 30s or something, bro. Okay, maybe not the 30s, but that I guarantee you those cigarettes probably came from the fucking 70s, dude. You probably just straight up smoked some, like, cigarettes that your dad's dad probably would have been smoking. No one ever touched the ears. Oh. So either, like, the whole idea of, like, yeah, if you get a cigarette out of that, it's gonna be gross and disgusting, and, like, you know, don't even bother. If you want a cigarette, just go to a fucking gas station. You know, like, I mean, it was probably something like that. I think, you know, it just kind of became the spoken word of just don't fuck with it. It's just kind of a, you know, random ass, you know, little cool little piece. At least it's a cool conversation starter. I remember the brand too, Lucky Strikes. You know, I was gonna guess that. I saw that, you know, and I was like, you know what? Let me guess, Lucky Strikes, because that was a big brand back in the day. I know they still exist, but, I mean, back then it was basically Lucky Strikes, Marlboro, or Camel. At this point, it's basically, like, pretty much Marlboro and Camel at this point. Mostly Marlboro. Like, at least around here, that's, like, what most people smoke. That or American Spirits. It's usually those two around here. I'm sure it varies region to region, but at least around here, American Spirits and Marlboro is, like, people smoking brand up here. And in third and fourth place, it'd probably be Camels for sure, and, maybe Winston's. Cigs themselves burned up in about 10 seconds per cig and were sold and poorly preserved. Well, yeah, they didn't have the... I'm sure they probably didn't have the same chemical additives and all sorts of other preservative bullshit like they do now. They didn't taste like chemicals like Mars cigs. Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, like, honestly, in a weird way, cigarettes back then were probably better for you, quote-unquote, in comparison to now. Because of all the weird, like, chemicals and preservatives that they kind of put in that shit. I mean, it's, I can only imagine, like, how ridiculous it probably is. I mean, I'm sure in a way it actually probably was worse when they were using chemicals, because they were so, like, sparsely regulated. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a give and take. I mean, it's still bad for you no matter what. I mean, if you want, like, tobacco that ain't gonna, like, perma-fuck you, like, you know, like, modern cigarettes will, like, you gotta get that shit, like, natural. Do it like the natives did. You know, because... They broke down the remaining cigs and used it for a spliff. Ugh. Oh god, dude. That just sounds rank. That sounds like the most disgusting fucking spliff ever. It actually worked pretty well as a base for a blunt. I mean, I'm sure it probably did, but still, like... oh man, I can only imagine how gross it must have been. Cover the smell of the weed real good. Yeah, because you have, like, literal, like, 1970 tobacco ass smell. Like, you know, permeating everything. Let's see what little things to kind of look at here on too. And we got caught, but the teachers didn't know it was weed. They just thought it was tobacco. Well, you know what? At least you didn't get in as much trouble. I mean, all honesty, so that's good. Shit, thought we had broken in the machine and stole cigs. Well, I'm assuming you at least paid for it by putting some money in there. I mean, hey, you know, at least it's better than getting caught, which we did in a sense. Which, yeah. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, it's like an old 1970s, 80s era smoke dispenser. You shook the machine until it gave up. Well, you know, like, whatever. I mean, it's their fault for leaving it in the school. For that to be a possibility. Like, they should have known that it was likely going to happen. It's like, yeah, if we leave this smoke, you know, machine in here, like, and just, like, you know... just don't service it or anything, that'll totally make sure the kids don't fuck with it. At some point, there's gonna be some kid that's gonna jostle with it and see if they can get a pack out, which, hey, you and your buddies did. To be fair, the old teachers lounge in the abandoned part of school. What the fuck? Oh, you fat ass bitch! Oh, hold up. That motherfucker just landed on me! Come back. Come on. You wanna land on me again, bitch? Fair to old teacher's lounge. Yeah, well, I mean, if you went in the old teacher's lounge, we were definitely not supposed to be there, and they at least had one person patrol that area during the day. Well, okay, so that would explain why that smoke dispenser was in there. I mean, okay, now you're starting to add details as to why that was in there. It was for the teachers back in the day. Back then, it was the coach, and he was the dumbass. So he probably didn't really give that much of a shit. He probably just assumed that, you know, no kid would really actually go in there and fuck with anything. So what's going on forward to today? Oh shit, Vosh would be live. Voosh is doing stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Usually is like done streaming by this point, because usually does that shit at like 11. Usually by the time I start waking up. I usually never catch this shit live. You guys can see what's going on with it. Isabel Mar scabs, Uni shit show develops, and some other random things that has been kind of cut off from the YouTube down. Lizard Belmar scab. I'm assuming he's being a scabby piece of shit about maybe the WGA SAG after shit. They probably say some retarded ass dumb shit. Oh, hey buddy, hey, come back. Wanna come back, fly? Did I get it? Oh, no. Oh, there you are again. Ah! Almost had it. A little short. Damn it. Testing got changed to testicles. Wait, what? I thought you just randomly blurted that out for no reason. To be honest with you.
Highly illegal.
Yeah. What's Vosh talking about?
Past a point, it really is just like every item of food having like a little syringe full of death juice being pumped into it. You know.
Whoa, death juice being pumped into foods, dude.
Ridiculous.
Whoa. Wow.
Jotunheim, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy me in the community. Fractal Dactyl, thank you for the tier.
I guess he's just reading. Okay, so I guess he's probably near the end of his stuff if he's reading off tier sub shit. What was I talking about earlier? Where's the Bill Maher bullshit if he was talking about that? The fuck? Talk about random car stuff and UAW preparing to strike at midnight. Oh. Let's go off this. Let's go on hell. Hey, yo, if I will just start right here.
So you know what? You want to play ball? You want to keep doing this? Mexico.
Glad to see you're standing up for the American.
What the fuck? You want to play ball? Is this where you want to be? Mexico. I think he's referring to the strike. Be like, oh, you workers want to like get better conditions and wages in your factories? Well, how about we send your shit to Mexico, bitch? Oh my god, dude. Alright, I kind of love that random, like, you know, bit. We just, like, just jumped in on that one. I love it. Wow. What a nub.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks for that. Wait. What the fuck? These weirdos.
No, I was a union member twice. One was completely corrupt when I led a wildcat strike and was fired.
Oh, okay.
That was not good.
But in this case,
I don't believe that. He was in one before, and apparently it was so corrupt he got fired for leading a wildcat strike. I don't believe that, knowing this weird fucking fop. How about we do what old school workers used to do? You burn a full factory down. You burn it down to the ground. Well, I mean, that's the absolute last, piece of, thing to do. Because the thing is, you don't want to necessarily have it burnt to the ground, entirely. Because, you kind of want to go back to work if you're trying to advocate for better work conditions, wage, and stuff like that. You're not necessarily saying, fuck all this, and just, wanting to burn the ground. But, at a certain point, yeah, that becomes an option on the toolbox. Because, the cost of having to repair all that shit and then get your jobs back anyway, while having to wait a little bit, while the factory repairs, might end up actually being more of a benefit in comparison to the cost of having to strike out for so long. So, I mean, it's a thing. It certainly has happened. I mean, obviously. But, usually if you, read up the stories as to why that stuff happens, it ends up being, the last-ditch thing. Like the Battle of Blair Mountain, for example. That, was a fulcrum point of, legitimately, at least of a decade of constant back and forth fighting between the miners and the union workers and shit, and the company towns and the factories and shit, and the Pinkertons and the cops. It was a back and forth for quite a while before it ended up becoming a full-on battle.
To believe that the automakers have
Well, I just think that
the
this
upper
man,
hand.
and I like, the union.
Jim Cramer's been wrong on everything that he says. He said the 2008 financial crisis wouldn't happen. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. Does anyone also believe that Jim Cramer is slowly turning into Mike Ehrmantraut? I feel like from the side, he has the same profile in Dead Fish Eyes.
Yeah, probably.
Say that they're way behind, the wages aren't the same as
well, his point would be that they have barely kept up. They haven't kept up with even the pace of inflation since
So you go to
2007.
25. Are they not? Is he not satisfied with 25% increase? I think most of America's is.
Listen to the way this guy talks. Keep in mind, the auto companies are enjoying record profits right now. And the other guy is like, I think the UAW workers just want their incomes to keep up with inflation. And Jim's like, keep up with inflation? What's next? $1 million an hour? $2 million? Why not? Under doctrines of Marxism, I have read all 7 schools of Marxism, and there's no difference really if you
Dude, fucking boss, dude.
might as well just give you $1 million a second.
It's at this point, you might as well just make them all like the wages of a CEO. Just make them, be nothing more than just, fucking millionaires within a day. Dude, fucking Vosh, bro.
That's, legitimately...
Keep saying anti-capital slurs and keep getting censored. Well, don't be so overt about it. Cause I go on anti-capitalist rants on YouTube a lot, and they don't get censored as much. They do, but not as much. Cause you gotta couch it, dude. You can't just, be so blunt. You gotta use some clever, creative words. Creative writing.
Oh yeah, he is turning into Mike Ehrmantraut because his solution is also sending people to Belize.
Ford's the most unionized company in America. It is.
What about the way that they say they're going to
My
strike?
voice, I'm free. No, I also... No, dude, oh my god. I said creative writing. Spoken word isn't right. Never mind.
Not across the board,
Well,
but
Stellantis is the one that you want to go. Oh, you mean targeted factories?
Yes, targeted.
And also, you're not free on voice. If I said some certain shit on this platform when it comes to some of my beliefs, I would definitely get banned. So that's not even true either.
Get the F-150 because it makes a lot of money. The F-150 hybrid. They can build a hybrid very easily in Monterey.
That's a very great and pro-American idea. I think we should have
Oh yeah, it's hey, I think it's, totally a very pro-American worker thing to just offshore everything into other places like Monterey or Mexico and stuff. Definitely a pro-worker then.
components for our national defense infrastructure be done by other countries. I agree completely. In a geopolitical climate where Republicans are literally threatening to invade Mexico, there is no idea that I think is better than us manufacturing. Oh, sorry. Oh my fucking god. The F-150 is a truck, not a plane. I'm so stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's early. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm so sorry. Hey, you know what? I take it back. The Ford F-150 is a vital component of our national defense infrastructure. All right. Who do you think? Who do you think? How do you think they haul that equipment? Huh? With Ford F-150s. I'm kidding. Ford F-150s are terrible.
They are trash. There are so many people around here that have them.
The Ford F-150 is like one of the cleanest examples of how degenerate the American pickup truck has become.
True. Dude, absolutely. It is just degeneracy in a truck.
Like, the Ford F-150 used to be the workhorse of the nation, and now every single person who drives one is a rich suburbanite who has never in their life driven on a dirt road.
Yeah, basically, this is like half of the people that have F-150s around here in a nutshell. At least the other half are true, like, Oregonians who will at least go out and go on, like, hiking trails and camp and stuff like that, so...
Like, when I was growing up, my mental vision of the Ford F-150 was the ones that were created around the time that I was born, because that was the ones...
I mean, look at this. I mean, that looks like a pretty nice little fucking truck there. You know, out there in the forest.
Oh, well, that's a pickup truck, right? Like, that looks like a pickup truck. That makes sense to me, I guess. It's pretty big, but then, like, then the 9th generation's like, whoa, did you just add, like, half a foot to the suspension?
Dude, I also kind of remember the 9th gen on that one, on 92, 96, because I think my dad had that truck.
Then, like...
It was either that or a Chevy version.
Then the 9th generation's like, whoa, did you just add, like, half a foot to the suspension? And then you go to the 10th generation, it's like, what? Like, look at this. Look at how low to the ground this is. It's like, what? In just 2 generations. What happened? And then you have this.
And then this is just gross.
And then you have this. And then you have this. And then you
have this.
And then you have this.
I mean, look at that. Hold on. Wait, hold the fuck up. Like, what the hell?
And then you have this. And then you have this.
This?
And then,
what is this? Like, hold the fuck up. It's like, yeah, you could, like, drive this like as a fucking, like, 4x4 little doom buggy, dude. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like a little doom buggy. You can, like, drive around and jump, like, 40 feet in the air. Woo whoop. Yay, bitch.
And then you have this. And then you have this.
There's another one! There was another picture where it straight up looked like it was like an off-road like doom buggy, bro. Hold up!
And then you have this. And then you have this.
Dude, oh my god, it looks like a little off-road RC car, dude. Oh my god.
And you have this. And then you have the 14th generation, where, as you can see, the top bumper of the Ford F-150 is coming up to the light of these light stands.
Dude, that has to be like fucking 5 feet or something, dude. What the fuck? That is ridiculous.
A person standing, their head would be like here. Like, this is a fucking monster. And the truck bed is the same size as it was all the way back here. It can't haul anymore. Like I guess there's more horsepower. If you're trying to haul, like, I don't know, a giant brick of tungsten or whatever, I guess you might want the newer one. But apart from that...
Yeah, because the average American's definitely hauling a fat brick of tungsten, dudes.
Modern pickup trucks are bigger than World War II tanks. Yep.
Dude, honestly, for real, though, like, dude, modern F-150s, if you look at a lot of, like, World War II tanks back in the day, like that most newest generation was looking at, dude, like, most tanks from back in the day are legit smaller than that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that thing's probably, like, the size of a fucking Panther tank or a Sherman. It's like, Jesus Christ.
There's an amazing video on this. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a smaller bed. It's not even a larger bed. There's a whole video on this from Not Just Bikes. But remember, the only reason this is being done is because there is a tax and, like, car test loophole that is provided for this kind of truck, which is allowing them, and they're trying to sell you more. Like, these cost way more. The average car price is going up. Look at this. Average new car price, $47,000.
What the fuck? Dude, that is insane, bro.
When I was growing up, I'm pretty sure people would get new cars for like $20,000.
Or about 15. Like,
what,
dude.
And that's because when you go into a lot, it's like look, yeah, in just 2 years, the average car price from 2019 to 2021 jumped by $11,000. $11,000 in 2 years. And that's because, like, American car manufacturers are literally just producing, like, gigantic ultra trucks now.
Because America, baby, we gotta make things bigger, wider, and fatter, and more trucky. Because America, gotta make sure we are seeping with nothing but patriotism.
Alright, sorry. Bit of a tangent.
Good tangent, though.
Yeah, they're not even selling.
Pay $10K for a strike back in 05. And yeah, and now it's literally like 30 plus K more now. It's ridiculous, dude.
Small trucks anymore.
B of A took a crack at that, what they're calling a standing strike, where you go after individual facilities. Their argument is...
So let's go back to Jim Cramer talking about how auto manufacturing workers are greedy. Ram's smallest truck is not available in the U.S. They literally don't sell smaller cars in the U.S. anymore. Like, they are artificially... So, yeah, free market lovers. They are artificially increasing the cost of cars by just not selling cheaper ones in the United States because they...
And also by just making them more bigger so you're paying more, basically, for less. So, you know, it's like you get less, technically, by just making it aesthetically look huge, and, yeah.
More money. For only selling the super expensive ones. And this is what car-dependent infrastructure does to you. In a country where you need a car to get around, they know they have a captive market. It's like an inelastic demand, basically. So it doesn't matter, well, people who can't afford a new car won't get one. No, people who can't afford a new car will just go into debt getting a new car. You can't not have a car in most of America. So, $50,000 for a new car, whatever, and you can go used, sure. But that's like, obviously a lot of people are just going to go for a new car anyway, because it's, people just have a bias towards a new car, and sometimes there are issues with used cars.
Yeah, before used.
Difficult and inefficient.
I'm definitely more about used cars myself.
And for any of the operators
way cheaper
to coexist with that. So they see likely, if it goes that way, makes sense to shut down, lay off the workers, and restart if and when you get a deal.
Well, look, I think this man... I would not say...
Yeah, just shut the factories down, lay everybody off, even though they're on strike trying to get better conditions stuff, and then just, like, reopen things when, you know, they just suck it up and take our little piss-poor water deal, yeah.
Famous paper tiger had they...
You just said he was a paper tiger.
No, I said I wouldn't say if they had raised a lot of money in a strike fund. Their strike fund is 5 weeks. Well, they can pay you $500, $600 a week, and then you're out of money. People like to get paid.
Their strike fund is only for 5 weeks before the strike starts.
You can't hold out.
I guarantee you they're going to be having more strike funds as, you know, time goes on.
These guys are not like
you're just
running
basing it
backs.
solely on
They're
the
not,
fact that
they're not like a running back who's going to hold.
Like, from my understanding, like, WJ and SAG-AFTRA have, like, raised enough strike fund money to basically go on into the new year, and they've stated that, too, where they're like, yeah, we're just going to keep going for the long haul. No one's budging, so we ain't budging, so we got enough funds to keep this going until next year, so, you know, they got all day, basically, so they've made that clear. So, I mean, you know, because, you know, a lot of people will donate and give support and shit like that, it makes it so, you know, lasting, you know, these strikes, you know, makes it a lot more possible. I mean, and also, you know, sometimes, I mean, you know, these workers also will supplement, you know, some of their income with, like, part-time jobs and things like that as well. That's, you know, pretty common, as you know, during these times. At least, you know, when strikes go on for this long. If it's, like, for a couple days or, like, a week or two, it doesn't really happen as much, but, you know, sometimes that does.
Deal. There's no big deal.
What are you running back? What is this guy trying to inject sports? What do you mean? If they're not like a running back, they won't be able to go far. What a tortured fucking metaphor. What are you talking about?
Hold out. And you've got to put food on the table. I'm just saying that Sean Fahey, when you listen to him, he sounds like he's the president of the United States. No, president of something higher than him.
It's like, no, he's actually a president of something higher than the United States. He's like a backroom, you know, snaky deal, you know, like... puppet, you know, string master. Like, oh my god, dude. He's trying to make him sound like some nefarious, like, Al Capone-esque mob boss, dude.
Look at this union rep, man. Look at how greedy he is, talking about how the company that they work for has not paid them wages that keep up with inflation, has taken away their benefits, and is making record profits, you know? Well, look at this uppity fucking worker. How dare he? Look at
these uppity people.
Strike funds. Soon they're gonna starve. Ha ha ha. Paper tiger. What a fucking sociopath. It's genuinely incredible to me how, like, the country, like, the national dynamic, the culture, the zeitgeist has shifted to a point where people like this can just be on TV and not have, like, an avalanche of hate mail, like, flooding the network every time. Like, people just not listening to it, you know?
I mean, no shit, man. I mean, it definitely would be absolutely well-deserved.
he's not. And he won by...
And also, like, I'm pretty sure it's on MSNBC, yeah, or CNBC. Like, so this isn't even like, you know, Fox or some shit.
now. And I have a factory in Mexico.
Trump made greed cool. No, that's the thing. Donald Trump, as bad as he is, would not agree with this rhetoric because Donald Trump explicitly ran, even though he didn't do it, on bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Donald Trump disingenuously appealed to economic populism. And again, he was lying when he did so. But to be clear, even people who like Donald Trump, even people who like that kind of guy, resonate with his messaging of keeping American jobs.
I mean, if anything, like, I mean, he would be like, JK is an idiot, we should not be outsourcing stuff, but you know what? You know, if they want better stuff, then maybe you should just let them have some of that, I don't know. You know, we need many American jobs back here, because we are American first. Like, he would literally just kind of glance over and not really give a shit. Like, if anything, I bet if, you know, Trump learned the details, he'd probably be like, oh yeah, fuck him. You know, so, like, I mean, honestly, like, I don't think, you know, he would actually agree with the strike or any of the workers anyway, but, you know, at least, you know, when it comes to the overall, like, specific details, especially of how Kramer's going with it, yeah, he wouldn't exactly be fond of it, because it's like, you're trying to, like, you know, threat workers here in America. How dare you? You're not America first.
So demon-like that he can't even muster that very basic, insincere, disingenuous level of economic populism. Everything is Reagan's fault? Yeah, this is a Reagan thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. A lot of this has been conditioned because of Reagan's weird fucking, like, theocratic reign there for a little bit. Which half of it was because of Nancy, too. I mean, she kind of took the reins after a while.
Great. Thank you, Jim Cramer. All right, that's the end of that. Nice. Yeah, I'm not saying that Trump would be, like, good for unions. He's not. I'm just saying that in terms of rhetoric...
He definitely wouldn't be. He's actually pretty disastrous for him.
Touch on that. Excuse me. Car sizes over the years? Yeah.
Ooh, this is like a chart?
It's really bad. It's so cool.
1980. Car's pretty small. In fact, sometimes people on a bike would actually be taller than, you know, like, than the car itself. Nowadays, it's just it's gargantuan. Like, look, it's ridiculous.
Every driver pays the
like
same.
it's completely unnecessary.
Like road tax, and how bicyclists also.
Oh shit! Was my stuff delivered? I saw that notification.
Tax. I wonder why nobody wants to bike in American cities. Have you seen that on Twitter right now? Every once in a while, somebody will post like a dash cam video of a bicyclist nearly getting killed by a car, and all of the replies will be blue checks saying, "I wish that car had killed that bicyclist. I hate bicyclists." It's crazy how fucking cucked people are by car infrastructure. Like, all these people...
To the point where they're like, oh my god, someone on a bike is a piece of shit. They need to be on the sidewalk, which actually is illegal anyway. They're supposed to be on the road. That's why there's bike lanes, at least, you know, for the basic bare minimal, like, standard when it comes to that shit.
Like,
at least in places like here.
Like fascists who want to return, you know? They don't understand. It's insane. And by the way, this is literally just for like 4 industries: the car industry, natural gas, oil, and coal. Like that's literally like that's it.
Pretty much.
The fossil fuel, the non-renewable energy sources, they have a shared interest in the car industry. And like, congratulations, that's America. America.
Like, yeah, I mean, honestly, down to the core, America is basically just ran by the automotive, oil, and like, you know, or really just broadly like the fossil fuel industries, because they all have a vested interest in this type of shit. It's why, honestly, America is so unique with, like, this heavily, like, car-centric type of infrastructure and shit. At least way more in comparison to other places. Like, it is just fucking ridiculous.
Those 4 companies.
I mean, it's literally been, like, legit well over a century in the making.
Or those 4 industries. Fantastic.
Thanks, Evan Ford. Nazi piece of shit. Oh my god, they literally have a tank chart. With tanks. Dude, a Panzer IV. Dude, these... Oh my god, they're bigger than a Panzer IV. Holy fuck. Insane. Insane. And they're about, yeah, like, even bigger than a Sherman. A Cromwell and a T-34. Oh my god, a T-34 is, I think, the smallest out of these. It is. And, oh my god, dude. Like, if it wasn't for the fact there were tanks, like, these trucks would easily roll over these. Like, Jesus Christ. Honestly, I think the Cromwell's the one that's the biggest, and it's about, like, this Dodge Ram and the fucking Ford, or the Chevy Silverado. Like, dude, it's about the equivocal of a fucking Cromwell. Like, bruh. Like, actually, yeah. Whoa, the Dodge Ram is literally 1 inch longer than the Cromwell. It's not as wide, and it's about slightly shorter. So yeah, like Dodge is about equivocal. What about that Silverado? Here.
All of this is...
Oh, it's way longer. And it's a little shorter and about like 10 inches less on the height. But yeah, like, what, bruh?
Deliberately by these car companies. None of this is like just consumer choice. They are manipulating and taking advantage of existing laws that provide exceptions for SUVs and trucks because they're classified as like work vehicles rather than like regular commercial, like regular ordinary people vehicles.
Even though they pretty much are at this point.
Keeping smaller vehicles from being sold in the United States because if you have to import them, it's way the fuck more expensive, meaning that it's much more difficult to get a hold of them, meaning people are going to gravitate towards the cars that are immediately available, what they can see on the lot. Seriously, go to like any local car dealership around your house. Not like a super luxury one like Mercedes or whatever. I mean like a car dealership that sells cars that people can usually afford to buy, okay? And the cars they have on display there are sickening. Like, stand next to them and ask yourself if you would feel comfortable with your child or like your future kid crossing the street in front of them. It's insane.
I mean, I'm not comfortable crossing the street with these fucking things.
Like, these are accurate height comparisons. The Soviet T-34 has a less dangerous bumper than the Dodge Ram 1500. Look, the edge point for the bumper on the T-34 is lower than the top of the bumper here.
Yeah, like if you had a T-34 charging at you, you could literally just like jump in, just like kind of like, you know, just jump and hop on the fucking like slant. Well, if you try to jump and do that on the fucking hood of a Dodge Ram, you would just like get smashed on the front of the bumper, then like get rolled under and squished and crushed by its fucking gigantic wheels.
The more dangerous they are. A low bumper.
Like, how the fuck is a tank actually more safer to be in front of than these things? Like, I mean, what the fuck? Because if, like, you know, if it also has, like, one of those little high-rises or high, you know, suspension where it has, like, you know, pretty decent amount of space underneath the tank, you could just, like, dunk underneath and just, like, you know, just be prone and just, like, hold your head under. You know, as long as it didn't, like, you know, have the tracks going underneath you or literally over you or something, as long as you kind of stayed in the center and just kept going straight. But, like, for a truck like this or anything, like, fuck no. If you're under that, you would be, like, shredded up and crushed.
That you see from these older cars, if you get hit by them, where do you go? You go over the car. Now, that still hurts, don't get me wrong, but it's a hell of a lot better than going under the car, which is what's guaranteed to happen if you're hit by a modern...
badass truck or, to tank around. No, I'm not. I'm not mad. I'm mad that he exists, and we've been manipulating the condition into thinking this is fine.
SUV or truck. My dad survived being hit by a car when he was a no, he wasn't even on the motorcycle at the time. He was a pedestrian. He was hit by a car in the late 80s, and because every car back then looked like this, basically, even the trucks were pretty low to the ground. My dad just like slammed his palm against the hood of the car and flipped over it and hurt himself. Don't get me wrong, I fucking hurt himself, yeah. But he went over it. And nowadays, like, car deaths are going up and up and up and up and up because you can't flip over one of these. Like, you would have to be, like, 8 feet tall to flip over.
Yeah.
If you get hit by these, you will go under it every time. There's no way to be tall enough. You can't go over them.
They're basically just oversized battering rams.
And I was shocked by how high your cars were. Yeah, it's insane. It's genuinely insane.
It just is. Like, I mean, it's just absurd. I mean, even if we, you know, are gonna have, like, this infrastructure and shit, I mean, the idea of, like, everything so gargantuan and big and ridiculous is, well, it's just fucking absurd. Like, it definitely is one of those things where, you know, we've just definitely been, like, taken for a loop and shit. We Truckosaurus Rex, I mean, we already have those. We have those now. Oh my god, whatever. I know you're just memeing. You're just trying to get a rise out of me, you son of a bitch. But, anywho. Gotta go to work. all that fun stuff. So at least call it good for now, and we'll probably check out some more fun little shit for tonight. See what else is going on. So peace out, and of course I should be back on for the next one. So.